Atlantic Canada's first seafood industry innovation summit. I want to tell you, there's been a lot of great conversations, a lot of collaboration. People are certainly excited to share their ideas here. It's been great. Everybody's pretty happy with the way it's gone. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Okay, so I'm Carole Tonello. I'm VP Business Development at Hiperbaric. And our company design, manufacture, build, and install a high-pressure machine, HPP machine. We are the global leader, and we have more than 350 machines installed all over the world. And one is here at Marine Institute, CCFI. So I'm here. I was here to present the technology and to give a demo and to meet people. This is the most important.
Carole, tell us, where's the company based, and then maybe you can break down the machine for us.
Okay, so the company is based in Spain, but we have sales and after sales subsidiary in North America, in Miami, Florida. Mm-hmm. And we have machines all over the world. So we have I think almost 20 machines in Canada, and a few machines in the Atlantic province for lobster meat extraction in cold condition with the high pressure. And we have in Canada, we have other application for extending shelf life of juices, meat products, in company like Vio, Sofina, Impress, Kamloops, Loop Mission, well, mainly in Ontario for packed products, and also in Quebec. So that's what we have.
Carole, not to give away too many trade secrets here, and I certainly don't want to get into your intellectual property, but explain to me how the machine works for the audience. Explain how this thing extracts meat from the lobster under pressure.
So we place the seafood, it could be bivalve, so in this case we can open the shell, or in the case of lobster, we place the lobster in a big vessel, big chamber, and in this chamber we fill with water at low pressure, and then we start a high pressure intensive fire, and we push more water, and the water comes between the meat and the shell, compress the meat, and so the meat separate from the shell, and when you break the shell of the lobsters, you can extract the meat. What is the beauty is that this is without any heat process. Right. So it's cold, and so you have the meat is raw. You can sell it raw and chilled product, or mainly frozen product, because the seafood is seasonal. So if you want to sell the whole year, in general, it's more convenient to have to sell a frozen product.
So I'm assuming under that sort of scenario, the yield is greater, obviously, because when you cook it, the yield goes down. So you have all the yield there, yeah. So you have all the lobster meat. How many lobsters can go through this process at once? Is it sort of an assembly, or do they all go into one container at one time? How does that work?
It's one container one time. So we work by cycle, by batches, and depending the size of the machine, we could process a lobster that would be around 40 kilos per hour. So that would be 400 kilos per hour, or 800 pounds.
Wow.
Up to, I would say, 4 tons to 8 tons per hour. So it's a lot, because we are able to perform 18-20 cycles per hour with the machine, so we produce a lot. Then there is the work to extract the meat from the shell. So in some cases could be automatized, or it could be manual, and so there is each time more interest for automation, automatic lines, because there is a lack of, it's difficult to find operators to do this type of labor.
Well, it's 100% true, right? I mean, the problem is, the challenge is getting people to do this work, even to, never mind an aging population in some of these areas where plants exist, but bringing temporary foreign workers in is complicated, it's costly. To automate is a good solution, and furthermore, Of course, people that do automate those jobs and work on those machines, it's a higher paying job, and it all makes sense along the way. So you've spoken to the automation question there perfectly, and certainly appreciate that. Talk to me a little bit about how artificial intelligence and digitization plays into your product and the sector largely.
Well, in I would say on our machine, other than the software that we can have, I think this is more for peripheral, because when you have product that comes from the sea, they are not I would say manufactured product.
Yeah,
so
right.
The size, I think this is not directly for our equipment, but what we can have before and after could make the line fully automatic. Right. So you could discard the products, you could classify, and this is definitely something that will give, I think, new possibilities to the industry. So with HPP, we combine the fact that, as you said, we maximize the yield, and we can automatize, and we can bring to the final consumer something I would say easy to eat.
Right.
Because if you have to purchase the lobster, you have to boil, you have to. This is a bit complicated. Now there is less. The consumer has less experience of cooking, preparing. Then it's dirty in the garbage. The odor is not good. So I think we go in the seafood business. I think we go in the direction of having ready-to-eat products, something clean, easy to use, and I think this is the way for the consumer to increase the consumption. And for the companies, for the manufacturer, I think automation, new processes will be helpful also to propose something more than the fish you catch or the lobster you catch. So this gives a lot of value.
Carole, there's been a lot of talk about the use of what used to be called waste, or the byproduct, and now they're calling it co-product, and they're finding all great new terms, but people are now seeing value in what they once thought was not important. Talk to me a little bit about your lens on that.
Well, what we can have is that we can have really byproduct, but we can have also some products that were not used because it was not possible to. You catch it and then you throw it.
Yeah.
And I think, for example, for algae, there is a huge potential. With our technology, with HPP, we have yet one application, and I think that will be something that will grow. Some seafood very difficult, when it's very difficult to extract the meat. With this technology, it's helpful because you can do it, so you can sell the product.
Right.
And for byproducts, we have, unfortunately, it's confidential. This is not in the seafood business, but we have a customer that starts to use the byproduct. They use HPP for the main range of product they commercialize, and then with the technology, they can also give value to the byproduct.
Right.
So you don't pay to throw it.
Right.
Or to be able to throw it, you can do something more. What is not confidential, for example, is that we have customers using the technology for fruit and vegetables, and what you cannot use. So they squeeze the juice of the fruit and vegetable, and the lasting part, the solid part, they can use it with HPP to make vegetable bars.
Oh.
So you can sell it. So
right.
you don't throw it.
Yeah.
I don't have any example I can talk about in the seafood industry,
right.
but I think that there is a potential. Could be perhaps I have to be imaginative, but I don't know, oil or skin or
right.
Yes, I think I know there is an application, I think, in Japan for fish skin. process under pressure, with the enzymatic process. So a lot of things to work and to develop. Yeah.
Wow. The conference itself, first time they've held it, bringing all these conversations together, sharing best practices. It's been good for you, this conversation. Have you been enjoying this?
Yes, I think it's interesting because different people with different interests, bringing different technology. It's really interesting because it opens minds. Of course, I'm really specialized in my technology. I don't sell specifically seafood machine, but I could discuss with one of our customer, and he said that we recommend to come to the summit because I was sure that it could be or it will be interesting for them, and they say yes, I can because I saw in the program some few technologies, but that's true that I discovered some other I had no idea, and this is really inspiring. So yeah, I think this is the good point of the summit is that many different people and many different technology novelties were exposed, and people catch it. So, and of course the networking is very interesting because you see people, we like phone, Teams, but when you can discuss, take a coffee, that's much better.
I really appreciate your conversation. Incredible product, and I hope people see this and say, "I need that in my plant."
I hope so.
Yeah, but I really appreciate your lens on things, and it was certainly enjoyable to be in conversation with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.